What's up guys and welcome to Game Review. This is the second episode and this I'm going to be reviewing Traffic Rider. Traffic Rider I don't think I've played on this channel before, but I play it sometimes in my spare time. If you don't know what the game is already, it's a game where you ride a motorcycle through streets and the objective is to either do a certain thing in a certain amount of time generally, or to just free ride if that's what you want to do. Now, I've played this game quite a bit in my spare time, but I've kind of stopped playing recently and I'll explain why later in this video. Now the game uses tilt controls. These tilt controls are relatively easy to use, though they can get a bit difficult for people who've never played with tilt controls before because they're quite sensitive on, especially on smaller devices like phones. If you've got like a tablet, it might be a bit more intuitive, but because a phone's nothing like using an actual steering wheel or handlebars, it's quite difficult. It's very sensitive and you have to get used to not moving your device around too much. So, but once you've learned them, you get quite comfortable with them and it's kind of just, you kind of know what you're doing and the controls aren't really a difficult thing for you anymore. Now there's a wheelie mechanic in this game, so while doing wheelies the game gets a bit harder because it's more difficult to brake and turn and see because you're looking upwards, but you get a lot more points, and you want to earn as much points as possible because the more points you earn, the more money you make, and the more money you make, the more upgrades for your bike you can get, and you can buy new bikes with that. Now there's also combos in this game. The combos are gained by doing, say, near misses, and then each near miss you'll get 100 points. But the more near misses you do, the more your combo stacks up, so it'll be 100, then 200, then 300, and it keeps going up, but it does hit a limit at some point. Although I think this limit may be variable as you progress in the game. Now there's different types of missions, such as time checkpoint and challenges. These are in the campaign. Time checkpoint is you have to reach different checkpoints within a certain amount of time, and once you've reached a checkpoint you get more time to reach the second checkpoint. If you don't get to the next checkpoint in enough time, you lose. So you've got to be really quick in this one and not do too much braking or stopping in this one, or crashing too much, because this will slow down your progress. Now in terms of graphics for this game, the graphics are alright, though they're not the best looking for any sort of mobile game. Though during stuff like rain it looks quite nice, so certain weather graphics are quite nice in this game, though the normal graphics aren't the best you'll ever see, especially on the cars. On the bike the graphics are quite nice, but on the cars and the environment and stuff, especially by the side of the road, the graphics aren't great. Now, in terms of other aspects of this game, such as upgrades, the upgrades is quite a nice system at the start, but it gets quite boring later on. I'll explain this. So what you want to do is you want to upgrade your bike and buy new bikes, so you can progress further in the campaign. So there's a limit to how far you can get with just the bike you're using at the moment, unless you've got the max level bike. Anyway, so you want to get the best bike you can get. But for this you need a lot of money, and the more you go up, the longer and longer it takes to earn enough money to buy the next bike. This gets quite boring as you can't play the campaign that often and just have to repeat the same repetitive free ride task where you just ride down a road and try and get as much score as possible. This can get quite boring for some players, and it's why I don't play so much at the moment, is because this aspect does not make the game that fun. Now, this could easily be fixed by either bringing the prices down or ramping up the amount of money you make the higher level you are. So in conclusion, this game is fun at the start, but it'd be more enjoyable later on if it wasn't so hard to get the upgrades, as it makes for slow progress through the campaign and having to spend too long doing repetitive, boring tasks. This makes players lose interest quicker, which results in player loss, and this makes it so that the game just gets boring for everyone a lot quicker unless people want to play it. So that's never good for a game, as obviously the objective of any game is to have fun. So if the game's not that fun, no one's going to want to play it. If there's too much boring grind in any sort of game, no one's really going to want to play it. I mean, if this problem was fixed, I'd put it at a 4 in the basic games category. But for this, I'm actually going to have to put it at a 3 because mid to late game is just boring in this. So you might not find it that fun. So nice, I'd play the start bit because it's quite fun doing it, and then I wouldn't continue because it's just not that enjoyable doing it later in the game, other than if you want to like know what the really fast bikes are like and you have hours, you want to just sit down playing this game, but I doubt you do. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, please subscribe so don't miss any more of the game review series, and I'll see you in the next video.